Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Andrea Speaks TV. I'm your host, Andrea, and I'm bringing y'all commentary you can use. So I want to again say good morning to you all. I want to say thank you so much for your support here on the channel. I am here now live, and this is episode 50. So, y'all, I want to say thank you again for your support. Thank you so much for everyone. For those of you all who are tuning in, watching the videos, whether you're watching live or if you're watching the replay, I want to say thank you all so much for your support. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I'm also excited to announce that Andrea Speaks TV merchandise is available. So we have collaborated with a clothing brand called Superlative Collection and support the channel. So if you would like to support the channel, you can purchase Andrea Speaks TV merchandise, and the link is below. Okay. All right. Again, I want to thank you all so much for your support. This is episode 50, and I have some things that I want to talk about in this episode. And so I first want to ask you all, have you turned on the television recently and actually seen, what's going on in the world? There's a lot of things that are happening, a lot of things that are happening that are very concerning. We're living in some very, I would say, troubling times right now. And a lot of things are going on. And so you all know right here on the channel, Andrea Speaks TV, you all know I have been reporting on shortages, food shortages, water shortages, things of that nature. Thank you all so much to everyone who is tuning in. Good morning. Good morning. I pray that you and your family are doing well and that you are having an awesome start to your week. And so a lot of things are going on, a lot of things that are concerning. And I want to, bring some of those things to your attention. You all know that, excuse me, one of the reasons why I created the channel, or the reason why I created the channel, is because there's so much news that was being pushed out to us that it's just kind of, sometimes it's hard to decide, okay, like, what is it that we really need to know about, what's going on, so that, we can really know and be aware of the things that are happening, so that we can make a plan to prepare and be able to support and protect our families, our loved ones. So that is the reason I created this channel. And I want to say again, thank you all so much for your support. This is episode 50. I want to also encourage you, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please make sure you subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, give me some feedback. I enjoy reading your comments on the videos, letting me know your thoughts, sharing information. So please make sure you hit the thumbs up button, share this video with family members and friends, and also make sure you subscribe to the channel. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and give you some time to subscribe before we get into our topic. Give me just a moment, y'all. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. All right, so I'm going to give you some seconds to subscribe, and then we'll go ahead and get into today's topic for episode 50 of Andrea Speaks TV. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe. All right, again, I want to say good morning to everyone. Welcome to Andrea Speaks TV. I am your host, Andrea, and you all know I bring you commentary you can use. So I want to say welcome. I may have some new subscribers who are on. If you are here, you're in the right place, so that you can get factual information, commentary you can use to help you navigate and learn more about the times that we're living in, so that you can make a plan to prepare and protect your family members and loved ones. All right, y'all. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. Again, this is episode number 50. And today's topic, you all know right here on the channel, not only do I talk about food shortages, water shortages, things that are currently going on, You all know that I also, if you go back and look at several videos that I've recorded, you all know I have reported on this information regarding business, as well as finances. And also, I give you different topics to educate you on. So today's topic is one that I thought was necessary to talk about. You all know that actually this occurred last Monday now. Last Monday, Facebook, Instagram, as well as WhatsApp went down. And so I want to come on and talk about that. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Give me just a moment. I do encourage you to watch this entire video. And I also would like to ask you to leave me some feedback. Let me know your thoughts about the information I reported. All right, y'all. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Again, make sure if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you subscribe so that you can stay connected when I do upload new content every week. Thank you all so much. Those of you who are watching live now, or if you're watching by replay, I appreciate you. Comment below. Let me know that you're here. And again, I hope you all are having a great morning so far. Okay. All right. So you all should be able, it's coming up, but you all should be able to see the information on the screen. All right, I think there may be a slight delay. All right, let's see. Give me just a minute, y'all. Good morning, good morning. Okay, there we go. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen and we're gonna get into today's topic, one that is actually overdue. This information occurred last week and I had all the intentions of going live and talking about it, but I have had several good things that have been going on. And so I wanted to make time, dedicate time to come to you all and talk about it, because actually in my research, I found out that not only did this outage, Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp, not only did the outage occur last Monday, but based on my research, for some users, it also went down again on Friday. So we're gonna, this past Friday, so we're gonna talk about that as well. All right. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Okay. All right. So let me go ahead and continue on with the presentation. So again, y'all, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Facebook and Instagram went down. Let's take a look at what's happening and let's talk about it. So again, this information is presented by Andrea Speaks TV. This is episode 50. Woo woo. This is episode 50. And today is Monday, October the 11th. 2021. So again, many people, including myself, use Facebook and Instagram. I'm not as familiar with WhatsApp, to be honest. I don't use WhatsApp. I'm not, very familiar with that. But I know several people, people like you and I, use Facebook and Instagram and other social media sites, whether it's to use it what it's for, to socialize with, different people. And there are also people who use it for business purposes. So when Facebook and Instagram went down, I can imagine that for a lot of people, it really created some challenges. Now, I shared in a previous video right here on my channel, Andrea Speaks TV, that when all of this occurred last Monday, my understanding is that everything happened like earlier that Monday morning, but I didn't actually find out until like later on Monday evening. I saw something on the internet and I was speaking to my husband about it and he wasn't even aware of it as well. We had different things that, different things that we were involved in. Both of us run different businesses and we have businesses and we just didn't know about it. So I want to come and bring you some information and also get your opinion and your thoughts on why do you think that these social media sites went down. Okay. All right, y'all. So, I report factual information And so the information that I'm presenting to you, or one of the pieces of information that I'm presenting to you, comes from the New York Times. And so the title of the article, which you can see on the screen, it says "Gone in Minutes, Out for Hours, Outage Shakes Facebook." So I want to give you some information about that. And I would also like to welcome your feedback, your comments, and let me know what you think actually occurred that caused not one, but two outages to happen within a week. All right. So again, this information does come from the New York Times. And the article says Facebook and its family of apps, all right, including Instagram and WhatsApp, were inaccessible for hours on Monday. This is last Monday, taking out a vital communications platform used by billions and showcasing just how dependent the world has become on a company that is under intense scrutiny. Now, Facebook has apps which include itself, Facebook itself, Instagram, WhatsApp, Messenger, and Oculus began displaying error messages around 11:40 a.m. Eastern Time. Users reported. All right. Within minutes, the article says Facebook had disappeared from the internet. The outage lasted over 5 hours before some apps slowly flickered back to life, though the company cautioned the services would take time to stabilize. All right. You all make sure, if you haven't already, make sure that you hit the thumbs up button, share this video, and also make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Okay. All right. Now, more than 3.5 billion people, the article says, around the world use Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, and WhatsApp to communicate with family and friends, distribute political messaging, and expand their businesses through advertising and outreach. All right. Facebook is also used to sign in to many other apps and services, leading to unexpected domino effects, such as people not being able to log in to shopping websites. And it says that some people could not even sign into their smart TVs, thermostats, and other internet connected devices. Okay, so that raises a question that I have, because as I just shared, it says that some people, the article said that Facebook is used to log into other platforms, other apps, other services. So should we really be relying on social media sites to help us log into our things such as smart TVs, thermostats, other internet connected devices? Is that really a good thing? Because as you see, the outage happened, and by it being down, some people couldn't even log into some of their apps and services that they use on a daily basis. So what are your thoughts on that? Are we relying too much on social media to help us access you know common things that we may use on a daily basis? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Okay. All right. Now, technology outages, the article says, are not uncommon, but to have so many apps go dark from the world's largest social media company at the same time, y'all, was highly unusual. This is according to the article. Now, Facebook's last significant outage, the article says, was in 2019 when a technical error affected its sites for 24 hours, and a reminder that a snafu can cripple even the most powerful internet companies. All right. This time, Facebook said late Monday, the culprit was changes to its underlying internet infrastructure. Now, this is what Facebook is saying caused or happened, the reason why that the outages occurred last Monday. This time, Facebook said late Monday, the culprit was changes to its underlying internet infrastructure that coordinates the traffic between its data centers. All right. What do y'all think about that statement? That interrupted communications and cascaded to other data centers, and I quote, bringing our services to a halt. That is what the company said. Okay. Now, Facebook did eventually restore service after a team got access to its server computers at a data center in Santa Clara, California. 3 people with knowledge of the matter said then they were able to reset them. Okay. The company also apologized for the outage. We're sorry, it said on Twitter after its app started becoming accessible again. Thank you for bearing with us. Okay, now I'm going to go to the next slide here because I do have some pictures that I want to discuss with you. Now, what you see on the screen, again, this information comes from the New York Times. This is the title of the article. It says, "Gone in minutes, out for hours, outage shakes Facebook." Okay, so it says, when apps used by billions of people worldwide blinked out, lives were disrupted, businesses were cut off from its customers, and some Facebook employees were locked out of their offices. Okay, and then you can see a picture there. It looks like someone is taking a picture by the Facebook sign, maybe by their corporate office, and the caption says, "Facebook's internal communications platform, Workplace, was also taken out, leaving most employees unable to do their jobs." Okay, thank you all again so much for tuning in. All right, so I'm gonna make it bigger so you won't be able to see me, but I will still be in the background. I'm just gonna make it so that you all can better see what is on the screen. Okay, all right, we're gonna continue. Now, I do want to talk about what you see on the screen here. Now, Facebook, when Facebook went down, Facebook actually used its Twitter page. So as you can see, this is a Facebook Twitter from last Monday, which was October 4th, 2021. And the message says, their tweet rather says, "We're aware that some people are having trouble accessing our apps and products, and we're working to get things back to normal as quickly as possible. And we apologize for any inconvenience." Okay. Facebook also said in another tweet, again, this was last Monday, October 4th, 2021, "To the huge community of people and businesses around the world who depend on us, we're sorry. We've been working hard to restore access to our apps and services and are happy to report they are coming back online now. Thank you for bearing with us." Again, this is a Facebook tweet from last Monday, which was October the 4th, 2021. All right, let me continue reading, y'all. Okay. All right, now. Okay, let me see. Okay, Mark Zuckerberg, who is the creator, one of the creators rather, of Facebook. He also had a message to share. Let's see what he had to say about it. All right, Mark Zuckerberg had this to say: "Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Messenger are coming back online now. Sorry for the disruption today. I know how much you rely on our services to stay connected with the people you care about." Okay. All right. So you all let me know, what are your thoughts on his statement? Okay. You all let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts on Mark Zuckerberg's statement? Again, he said he had this to say about what happened during the outages. He said, "Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Messenger are coming back online now. Sorry for the disruption today. I know how much you rely on our services to stay connected with the people you care about." Okay. And I also want to ask this question. You know, I know he mentions that he knows how much you rely, or people rely on the services, on their services, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, to stay connected. So I want to ask the question, do you all feel like the society that we live in today, do you feel like people rely too much on social media to stay connected with people that they care about? What about simply being able to pick up your phone and call someone, or, you know, sending a text message, things like that? Are we relying too much on social media? And then when things like the outage happen and it goes out, you know, a lot of people panic. Things, you know, get more challenging for them. They lose connection, or they lose contact with their customers, business partners. Let me know your thoughts on that. Do you feel like people rely too much on social media to stay connected? Okay. All right. So let me continue on now. This is something that I saw it, but I hadn't really been looking into it that much. But not only last week did the outages occur, and I'm going to give you some more information on that, but um, okay, let me read the article. It says the outage added to Facebook's mounting difficulties. Okay, now for weeks, the company, this being Facebook, the company has been under fire related to a whistleblower. Her name is Frances Haugen, as we've learned from her interview on 60 Minutes, who is a former Facebook product manager who amassed thousands of pages of internal research. So I said, wait a minute, you mean to tell me that the outages are occurring at the same time as the whistleblower, as she's been as she has the whistleblower, as she is what am I trying to say? As she is known now, she has come to be known as. The same time, all of this going on with Facebook, the outages, all of this is happening at the same time that the whistleblower is sharing her information, telling her story about all the things that have been going on with Facebook. Now, y'all think about that. To me, you all let me know your thoughts in the comments, but I kind of find that, a little bit suspicious, questionable, that all of these things are going on at the same time. So I'm going to bring you all some more information about that as well. Okay, you all make sure you hit the thumbs up button, share this video, and also make sure you subscribe to the channel. Okay. All right. So I'm going to share more information with you. Again, this comes from the New York Times. That is a picture of Frances Haugen, as you can see her on the screen. And this was a headline from the New York Times. Okay, but let me continue reading. So again, y'all, for weeks, the company has been under fire related to a whistleblower, Frances Haugen, a former Facebook product manager who amassed thousands of pages of internal research. She has since distributed the cachet to the news media, lawmakers, and regulators, revealing that Facebook knew of many harms that its services were causing, including that Instagram, listen to this, y'all. This is what she's alleging, including that Instagram made teenage girls feel worse about themselves. Let me continue reading, y'all. Now, the revelations have prompted an outcry among regulators, lawmakers, and the public. Ms. Haugen, who revealed her identity on Sunday online and on 60 Minutes, is scheduled to testify on Tuesday, this past Tuesday, which she did, in Congress about Facebook's impact on young users. Now, she actually had this to say about some of what she saw. Well, actually, no, this is a quote. Before I get into some of her comments, this is a quote from a professor of communications at Cornell University. Today's outage, meaning last Monday's outage, brought our reliance on Facebook and its properties like WhatsApp and Instagram into sharp relief, said that professor at Cornell University. The abruptness of today's outage highlights the staggering level of precarity that structures our increasingly digitally mediated work economy. Okay, so those are some of her thoughts. Now, when the outage began on last Monday morning, Facebook and Instagram users quickly turned to Twitter to lament and poke fun at their inability to use the apps. The hashtag Facebook down also started trending. Memes about the incident proliferated. Now, again, I told you all that I didn't find out when all this was going on last Monday. I didn't find out until much later. I had several things that I was working on. One of them, and I actually posted a video that day. I was talking about how I went to Target, and you all know I've been sharing this on the channel. I've been preparing. My family and I have been preparing and making a plan for everything that's to come, as far as like the more food shortages, water shortages, things of that nature. So when all of this was going on, I was out buying canning supplies. And so you all can check out the channel here on Andrea Speaks TV. And I'll also be sharing more information with you. Okay. But when all this, like I said, when all of this was going on, I didn't find out until much later. Okay. Now, one person had this to say who runs a business in Ireland. Okay. So this had an effect not only here in America, but also on a global scale. All right. One user said, one business owner said that with Facebook down, we're losing thousands in sales. Okay. He actually runs a fashion brand that is focused on mental health that uses Facebook and Instagram to reach customers. He also said it may not sound like a lot to others, but missing out on 4 or 5 hours of sales could be the difference between paying the electricity bill or the rent for a month. Okay. Now, also, someone who runs a food delivery service in Delhi said he was unable to reach clients or fulfill orders because he runs the business through his Facebook page and takes orders via WhatsApp. Okay. He said everything is down. My whole business is down. So imagine that, some businesses, as I have just shared, rely heavily on Facebook. And so when it went down, it became a challenge. But that is also why I would encourage, and several people would encourage as well, that you should have, multiple channels to do business, multiple outlets to do business, and also have backup systems in place so that if something does go down and one of these sites do go down, you'll still be able to fulfill your customers' orders and reach customers. Okay. All right. Now, inside Facebook, workers also scrambled because their internal systems stopped functioning. The company's global security team was, and I quote, notified of a system outage affecting all Facebook internal systems and tools. And that was according to an internal memo sent to employees and shared with the New York Times. Okay. Now, those tools include security systems and internal calendar and scheduling tools, the memo said. Okay. Now, I'm going to get back into, actually, let me go back to the previous slide because I want to share some more information, some more details about actually what Facebook itself is alleging happened. And then we'll talk about the whistleblower, Frances Haugen. Okay, now, employees at Facebook, they said they also had trouble making calls from work-issued cell phones. Hold on just a minute, y'all. Let me go back a few. Okay, let me go back to here. All right, so employees said they had trouble making calls from work-issued cell phones and receiving emails from people outside of their company. Facebook's internal communications platform, Workplace, was also taken out, leaving many unable to do their jobs. Some turned to other platforms to communicate, including LinkedIn and Zoom, as well as Discord chat rooms. All right, so when they realized that their own platform that they could not log into or communicate via their own platform, they had to actually use other sites to work and do business. Now, some Facebook employees, the article says, who had returned to working in the office were also unable to enter buildings and conference rooms because their digital badges stopped working. Security engineers said that they were hampered from assessing the outage because they could not get to server areas. Okay, I want to share a few more points from this particular article on the New York Times, and then I want to talk more about Frances Haugen, okay, and the former employee and known as the whistleblower, okay. All right, Facebook's Global Security Operations Center determined the outage was a high risk, I quote, was a high risk to the people, a moderate risk to assets, and a high risk to the reputation of Facebook, the company memo said. Now, a small team of employees was soon dispatched to Facebook's Santa Clara data center to try a manual reset, I quote, of the company's servers, according to an internal memo. Now, several Facebook workers called the outage the equivalent of a, and I quote, snow day, a sentiment that was publicly echoed by Adam Mosseri, the head of Instagram. Okay, in Facebook's early days, the site did experience occasional outages as millions of new users flocked to the network. Over the years, the article says it spent billions of dollars to build out its infrastructure and services, spinning up enormous data centers in cities, including Pineville, Oregon, and Fort Worth. Now, there is someone who is a chief technology officer at a company called Cloudflare, which is a web infrastructure company that helps direct traffic to Facebook. They had this to say in an interview. They said that his company became aware of the outage early on and saw the incident scope. He described the issue as, and I quote, a misconfiguration. Okay. And he was also quoted as saying it was as if Facebook just said, goodbye, we're leaving now. That is what he said. Okay. All right. So that is the information from the New York Times article. I want to switch gears here. And again, like I said, all of this going on at the same time that the whistleblower, Frances Haugen, is giving her insight in her alleged insight and details of things that she saw, things that she allegedly witnessed as a former employee. I want to talk more about some things that she had to say, and I want to again get your opinion on that. Okay. All right. So this particular information, I shared some information from the New York Times. I also have information here from CNN. And according to CNN, the former Facebook employee who you see on the screen, her name is Frances Haugen. She leaked the former Facebook employee whose leaks triggered some of the most intense scrutiny in the company's history, revealed her identity this last Sunday night. Okay. Frances Haugen, who is a former Facebook product manager with stints at several other big tech companies, went public with an appearance on 60 Minutes. Okay. Haugen was set to testify in front of the U.S. Senate subcommittee on this past Tuesday. And here's some things that we know about her. Okay. All right. So just a few things. I'm not going to read everything, but just a few things to point out about her background. She studied electrical and computer engineering, followed by an MBA. Haugen worked at several tech firms starting in 2006, including Google, Pinterest, and Yelp. She specializes in, and I quote, algorithmic product management, and has worked on several ranking algorithms similar to the one Facebook uses to organize its main news feed. Okay, that is according to her prepared testimony obtained by CNN this past Monday. Okay, now the article says she is scheduled to appear Tuesday, which she did before the Senate Subcommittee on Consumer Protection, Product Safety, and Data Security. Okay, so if you have not already watched her testimony, you can do some research on that. It is available on the internet, on YouTube. You can look at that as well. Now, the article also says working at four major, she was quoted as saying, working at four major tech companies that operate different types of social networks, I have been able to compare and contrast how each company approaches and deals with different challenges, she wrote in her prepared testimony. Okay. Now, Haugen joined Facebook, according to the article. Haugen joined Facebook in 2019 to work on civic integrity, okay, including, and I quote, issues related to democracy and misinformation, according to her website. Okay, those issues have been front and center for critics of Facebook and other social media companies, particularly around the current pandemic and the 2020 US presidential election. Okay, now Haugen took the job at Facebook to work on addressing misinformation, She said in her 60 Minutes interview, which I also watched the interview as well. I do encourage you, if you would like to hear more about what some things that she was saying, I do encourage you to go and watch the 60 Minutes interview. Okay, I'm just putting the information bigger on the screen, y'all, so you can hear it. So you can see it as I talk, okay? So she took the job at Facebook to work on addressing misinformation. This is what she said in her 60 Minutes interview. But she said her feelings about the company started to change when it decided to dissolve its civic integrity team shortly after the election. Okay. Now, Facebook says the civic integrity team work was distributed to other units when it dissolved, and the company's executives have pushed back against accusations it was responsible for the riot that occurred on Capitol Hill. Okay. One of her quotes, she said, the thing I saw at Facebook over and over again was there were conflicts of interest between what was good for the public and what was good for Facebook. And Facebook, over and over again, chose to optimize for its own interest, like making more money. Now, that is one of the things, I think, if I can remember correctly, that's one of the things she said in the very beginning of her 60 Minutes interview. Okay. Facebook, as she said, and this is another quote from Frances Haugen. She said Facebook became a $1 trillion company by paying for its profits with our safety, including the safety of our children, she wrote, and that is unacceptable. Okay. All right. So about a month ago, the article says Haugen filed at least 8 complaints with the Securities and Exchange Commission, alleging that the company is hiding research about its shortcomings from investors and the public. Haugen also shared the documents with the Wall Street Journal, which published a multi-part investigation showing that Facebook was aware of problems with its apps, including the negative effects of misinformation and the harm caused, especially to young girls, by Instagram. Okay, Haugen resigned from Facebook in April of this year and left the company in May after handing off some projects, according to a profile in the journal, but not before collecting the documents that would form the basis for the publication's investigation. If people just hate Facebook more because of what I've done, then I failed, she told the journal. I believe in truth and reconciliation. We need to admit reality. The first step of that is documentation. Okay, so here's what happened next. Okay, we know that this past Tuesday, she testified in front of the city Senate subcommittee chaired by Democratic Senator Richard Blumenthal. The subcommittee last week questioned Facebook's global head of safety, Antigone Davis, about the impact its apps have on younger users. Davis sought to paint the company's services, particularly Instagram, as more helpful than harmful to teenagers. Okay, so I also want to get your opinion on this. Well, actually, we all know that, there are some, concerns, social media. We know social media, people have access to people all over the world with social media. And I don't think there's really a question about, is social media really safe for our young children, young students, things of that nature. And so I personally feel like there needs to be tighter controls. I'm going to be talking about this on the channel as well, but it seems that there is an agenda. To me, it's, based on my research, it seems that there's an agenda being pushed on our young children, and it just seems that a lot of these people who are behind the agenda are using social media as one way to get to the younger generation. And so I definitely feel like there needs to be tighter controls. I can't tell parents that they should or should not allow their child at, whatever the appropriate age is to be on social media. But I definitely, if I could say anything, I would definitely say that parents, if your child is on social media, please make sure that you are checking in, monitoring, seeing what they're posting, who they're interacting to, not only monitoring what they are posting, but also watching and seeing who they're interacting with, because there are even some people out there who will pretend to be one person of one age and they're someone completely different. So that is something that I will be also talking about here on the channel. It seems like there is an agenda being pushed on the younger generation who are still growing, still developing. And I think it's something that all parents, all people need to know about so that they can protect their children as well. Okay. All right. So that is one of the points that Frances Haugen did bring up. Now, here's how Facebook responded. Okay. The company has strongly, Facebook, this being Facebook, the company has strongly pushed back against Frances Haugen's claims, including a more than 700-word statement that was issued last Sunday, laying out what it called, and I quote, missing facts from the 60-minute segment that Frances Haugen did, and saying the interview, and I quote, used select company materials to tell a misleading story about the research we do to improve our products. So Facebook is hitting back saying, no, that's not true. And they called what she said missing facts. Okay. Now, even as it dealt with the continued fallout from Haugen's revelations, the article says, as well as widespread outage of its main services for several hours on Monday, Facebook sought to dismiss an antitrust complaint by the Federal Trade Commission accusing it of being a monopoly. Okay. Now, Haugen says the only way to hold Facebook accountable is to reveal its inner workings in the way that she did. Okay. She says, and I quote, I came forward because I recognize a frightening truth. These are words from Frances Haugen. Almost no one outside of Facebook knows what happens inside Facebook. Okay, let's think about that, y'all. Listen, I'm gonna read what she said again, and I want you to think about what she is saying. She says, I came forward because I recognize a frightening truth. Almost no one outside of Facebook knows what's happening or what happens inside Facebook. She wrote to the Senate committee on last Monday, as long as Facebook is operating in the dark, it is accountable to no one, and it will continue to make choices that go against the common good. Okay, so that is what she's saying. Again, Frances Haugen is a former employee of Facebook. She, by her being a former employee in the position that she held, someone would say that, she does have some insight that people like you and I don't necessarily have, because as she referenced, we're people like us, we're outside, we use Facebook, but we don't know all of the ins and outs about how Facebook operates, how they create their different algorithms. The article that I just read talked about how they come up with information to post in their in the news feed, again, based on algorithms and other research and studies that they do kind of behind the scenes. And so do you feel like, I want to ask you all this question, do you feel like Frances Haugen, do you feel like the information she's sharing, whether you watched her information that she presented before the Senate subcommittee, I didn't get to see all of it, I just saw clips of it, and even from her 60 minutes interview, do you feel like she is someone who is credible, someone that we can believe, someone who is presenting factual information? Based on some of the, just in my research, I haven't really taken a deep dive into really understanding everything that she's saying. I haven't, not just yet, but based on what I've read in my research, she is someone that I am taking an ear to and listening to what she has to say, because, we all know that right now we're in the age where, social media sites are starting to censor different people for what they are talking about, whether they are sharing true information or whether there are certain people that do not want the truth to be told to the masses. So I definitely feel like this is some information that we should pay attention to. And I also want this to be an opportunity for others. People use social media for different reasons. As I shared, some people use it for business. Some people use it, strictly for socialization purposes, communicating with people. But I think this is something, based on the outages and also based on the information that she is presenting, Frances Haugen. I definitely feel like this is an opportunity to have a discussion and for several people to think about, are we putting too much trust into these social media sites? Are we sharing too much information? Some people, for whatever reason, they choose to put their whole life on social media. They choose to share all of their personal information. But I have a question. What is actually happening? What is actually happening when when the outages occurred? There were some people I read that said that, and I don't know if this happened for a lot of people or if it was just a case by case basis. But I did read on Facebook that some people were saying that after it came back up later on last Monday, after the Facebook site came back up, they were saying that they didn't have access to some of their pictures. Some of their information was gone. So I have a question about what really happened. Again, the timing of everything is very concerning. The same time that she's preparing, all of this happened last week, right? So the same time that she's preparing to go before the Senate subcommittee to testify and present her information, all of a sudden, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook family of apps decides to go down. Well, what happened during that down period? One of the things that I noticed, that when it did come back up, I noticed that I had some new emojis to choose from and to post. Did you all realize that? So, they made it seem like it was an infrastructure issue, but when it indeed came back up, I noticed I had some new emojis. Did that happen to anyone else? Did you notice some new features, some things that and it could very well be, now I could be wrong. It could very well be that they were there before and maybe I just didn't notice. But that is one thing that I can say that I noticed is that when it did go down and when it came back up, I noticed that I had some new features that I had not noticed there before. And so you all let me know your thoughts on that as well. I'm going to go, let me see. I'm going to make this bigger so that I can read it. Again, whistleblower Frances Haugen says Facebook puts, and I quote, astronomical profits before people. The caption says Frances Haugen, a former Facebook product manager, is using her insider knowledge to provide new insights that few outsiders have heard of before. She told a Senate hearing that, and I quote, metrics make the decision at Facebook, calling for more regulation of the social network. Okay. And that is a picture from her Senate hearing on Tuesday. One of the articles says teenage girls have said that the effect on Instagram has on, teenage girls have said that the effect Instagram has on mental health is no surprise. Also, it says when Facebook's apps went down, the world saw how much it runs on them. Okay, the caption says the 5-hour outage disrupted the lives of small business owners, politicians, aid workers, and more. But for some, it was a welcome digital reprieve. Okay, Facebook's outage frustrated advertisers. Think about this, y'all. People have paid money to advertise on social media, and now the information that they have paid for to be advertised, people can't see it. So Facebook's outage frustrated advertisers heading into the holiday season, and those are just some of the things that happen. Okay. All right. She also had this to say. She has strong national security concerns. This information on the left comes from CNN. Let's see. Facebook whistleblower testified that the company is, and I quote, is operating on the shadows, hiding its research from public scrutiny. She also said Facebook's artificial intelligence systems only catch a very tiny minority of offending content. And there was an analysis that says Facebook revelations are shocking, but nothing will change until Congress acts. Okay, on the right, I have a clip from USA Today News, and it says, the article says, parents need to be equipped to help children navigate online spaces. Okay, now Facebook whistleblower Frances Haugen also expressed concern about how many parents around the world are poorly equipped to help their children navigate the dangers of social media. given the relative novelty of the technology. Okay. All right. So again, those are all points that I even want to highlight. Parents, especially parents of underage children, parents of children. When I say underage, I mean under the age of 18. Parents at any age, we're going to protect our children, but especially at a young age, parents need to know if parents are allowing their children to be on social media, you definitely need to know what your child is posting, who they are posting to, who are they communicating with, so that you can protect your child. Okay. All right. Now, I told you all that all of this happened. The original Facebook outage happened last Monday, but then also based on my research, this past Friday, Facebook went out again. Okay. So I want to give you some updates on that as well. This information does come from the New York Times. And as you can see, it says Facebook and its apps suffer another outage. What is going on, y'all? Facebook went out two different times, at least two different times that I know of in the same week. Okay. All while we have Frances Haugen, who is testifying, or who had at that time testified, preparing to testify, and then already testified before the Senate subcommittee. Isn't this kind of suspicious, y'all? Like, what's really going on? Okay. All right. So according to this article, this came out on October 8th, which was, let's see, was that this past Friday? Hold on, y'all. I'm going to check the date. I got my calendar on my phone in front of me. I believe that October 8th was Friday. Hold on, y'all. Let me see. Okay, yep, October 8th was this past Friday. I just wanted to be sure. Okay, now, according to the article, again, this is from the New York Times, Facebook and its family of apps. All right, Facebook, I'm going to make it large on the screen, and you won't be able to see me, but I'm still here, y'all. You'll be able to hear my voice. It says Facebook and its family of apps were inaccessible for about 2 hours on this past Friday afternoon, the second time in a week that the social network experienced widespread problems with its services. Now, there's a website called it's called downdetector.com, which is a service that relies on reports from users to determine whether websites are having problems. Show that all of Facebook's main products, Instagram, WhatsApp, Messenger, and I quote, Big Blue app of Facebook, suffered downtime at around 3 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. Now, the article goes on to say that just after 5 p.m. Eastern time, Facebook said it had fixed the issue, which had affected people around the world. The social network said the outage was caused by and I quote, configuration change, which typically refers to adjustments in the company's underlying technical infrastructure, but it did not provide further detail. Okay. Now, the company said our sincere apologies to anyone who wasn't able to access our products in the last couple of hours. Now, Facebook said that Friday's outage was not related. Listen to this, y'all. Facebook said that Friday's outage was not related to problems it had on Monday when its apps were down globally for more than 5 hours. So what was it related to? So you mean to tell me that you have two outages? Hold on, I'm gonna come on the screen for this, y'all. So you mean to tell me you have two outages within the same week, and now the company is saying that one wasn't related to the other? Think about that, y'all. Okay, I'm gonna continue reading. I'm putting everything right here on the screen. All right, now, okay, so Monday's outage, last Monday, Monday's outage was a stark reminder, the article says, of just how much of the world relies on one or more of Facebook's apps. More than 3.5 billion people worldwide use them regularly. Entrepreneurs and business owners said they were unable to make sales on Instagram or through their Facebook storefronts during the outage, in some cases costing them thousands of dollars. Outside of the United States, people in countries that are heavily reliant on WhatsApp, including Brazil, India, and the Philippines, among others, were unable to communicate with friends, families, colleagues, or customers. WhatsApp is used by more than 1 billion people globally. Okay, now after Monday's outage, the article says, as the app slowly came online again, the company cautioned that its services would take time to stabilize. Okay, so again, y'all, I want to get your opinion. What do you feel like is the real reason that you feel like these sites are going down? Okay, so I want to give you some time to put your comments below. What do you feel is the real reason? What do you feel is the reason why these social media sites went down? Take a few moments, y'all, and or take a minute or two, and please comment below. All right. So if you're watching now live, or if you're watching by replay, please let me know in the comments, what do you feel is the reason why these social media sites went down? I would love to know your thoughts. Please comment below. And I'll come back on in about 2 minutes, y'all. I'm gonna put my timer on 2 minutes. Give you time to comment your thoughts below in the chat or in the comments. All right, that's my timer going off. So I wanted to give you all some time to comment below. I wanted to welcome your comments and your feedback to let me know, what do you feel is the reason why these social media sites went down. Okay, so again, thank you all so much for commenting below. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'll come back on. So again, I want to say thank you all so much for supporting the channel right here at Andrea Speaks TV. I have some links in the description that I would like for you all to check out. Again, thank you all so much for supporting. This is the 50th episode. Woo woo, of Andrea Speaks TV, and I'm just going to keep going, bringing you information, factual information, and commentary that you can use. Also, I announced in the beginning of the video that Andrea Speaks TV merchandise is available, and we are I am collaborating. We're collaborating with Superlative Collection, a clothing brand, and so we have some merchandise that's available. So if you're someone who you say, you know what, Andrea, I like what you're doing. I like that you come on, you share factual information. I like what you're doing, and I want to support what you are doing. You can support the channel by purchasing Andrea Speaks TV merchandise. The link is in the description below. Also, let's see. Hold on one second, y'all. Also, make sure you hit the thumbs up button, share this video, and also subscribe to the channel. Also, if you are speaking of social media, I am on Instagram. I'm on Instagram, so you can follow me on Instagram at Andrea Speaks TV. I am from a generation where I was born before social media and before the internet. So make sure so what I'm saying is that I would like to build up my Instagram following. So if you are on Instagram and you know someone who's on Instagram, you say, hey, you need to follow that lady, Andrea, who is bringing commentary you can use. She's talking about things that are happening in the world right now, and these are things that you need to know about so that you can make a plan to protect and prepare and provide for your family to sustain through the times that we're living in. Encourage them to follow me on Instagram at Andrea Speaks TV. Also, you all know that food shortages are happening all over. These things are real. And so not only food shortages, but water shortages. Okay, I have several videos about both of those topics here on the channel. And so I do have a site, preparewithandrea.com. You can get emergency food supply and your survival needs there. And you all know that I want you to subscribe to AndreaSpeaksTV.com. That is the site where I have my YouTube page and all of the videos. I have over 60 videos now, all information that you can use to help you, not only increase your knowledge, but to act on it and prepare for your family and also future generations to come. All right, y'all. So again, I am Andrea from Andrea Speaks TV. Thank you all so much for your support. This has been episode 50, the 50th episode. Again, I want to say welcome to all of my new subscribers. Please make sure, I want to say welcome to all of my new subscribers, and also a big thank you to my continued subscribers, continued supporters. Make sure you go back. I have over 60 videos now, all of very helpful information, factual information. Anything that I'm reporting on, you can actually go and you can do your research and find out that it is true. I encourage you to go back and watch some of my videos. So also, again, make sure you visit the links in the description of this video. And I want to thank you all so much for your support. So until next time, you all take care, be blessed, have a wonderful start to your week. I will be coming on. I'll be uploading some videos this week. Some things that have been going on that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the fact that grocery stores, I did some research, and I want to share with you that grocery stores have been warned by distributors that there are going to be limited supplies coming up very soon, even during the November and December, the holiday months, when a lot of people are celebrating Thanksgiving and buying food as well as Christmas. Grocery stores have been warned that by distributors that supplies are even limited. They're not going to be able to purchase as much as they used to for their stores. So I want to tell you all that. I also want to tell you all that I did some research, and there is a group of scientists who they have created the coldest temperature on record in a lab. So I want to bring that to you as well. And I also want to talk about some other things that are going on, particularly one of the crisis that is starting to happen in other parts of the world. But there is a growing energy crisis that is happening. And if you all know, I reported this on the channel. We can't forget what happened some months back in Texas, and how the Texas power grids failed, and many people went a week, if not longer, with no electricity, and it was freezing cold. So I want to bring you some information about that as well as give you an updates on what people are now saying about the supply chain crisis and shipping crisis. You all know that I talked about that, 4 or 5 months ago. And now, back then when I was talking about it, when I brought you all information about it on the channel, it wasn't really being talked about. But now all of a sudden, 5 months after I first brought you out the information, one of the on different sites, the headline is shipping container crisis, supply chain crisis. But you all know they have been with me from day one, from months ago. You all know that I was telling you about the supply chain crisis was happening then when no one was really talking about it. So again, if you want to stay informed, if you want to get prepared and you want to know exactly what's going on, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel and stay connected with me. That way, when I do upload new information, new content each week, you can get it first. Okay. All right. Thank you all so much. Stay tuned. I will be bringing more information to you. Again, I want to say thank you. Thank you for your support. Take care. Be blessed. Have a great week. And I'll see you here again soon, right here on Andrea Speaks TV. Y'all have a great week. Thank you.